I'm Taraji Rowe. I'm a mindset and purpose coach.
Thank you so much for letting me into your world. You know, it takes a lot. So I stumbled upon your page randomly, and there was a certain post, you know, talking about how grateful that you are, about how far you've come and where you are now. You know, you went from now you're 6 years sober to, you know, being homeless when you were younger and lots of different things. And I was just blown away by your post and the things that you had been through, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm a big advocate of letting people know that everybody's got their own different versions of obstacles and just life that they've been through, you know, hardships and challenges. And the thing is, the most important thing is just turning that pain into healing. And that is something that I see that you're doing constantly every day. You know, you're evolving through that. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I just really want to hear your story.
Okay.
And I know that it will, even if it's one person that it blesses, and that says a lot. It goes a long way.
Okay.
So the first question, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
First question is...
Thank you, by the way.
It's all right. What's your story? How did it all start? Like, where's it all started from?
Okay. So I guess to start everything off, thank you once again. I'd like to say, I think it started through childhood. If I really go back, and this is really thinking about it, I'd have to say a buildup of things you can go through as a child can collectively transform into something if you allow it to, you know. And I've put a lot of thought into what I wanted to say. I think that it goes back to childhood, growing up in a rough environment and wanting to do something better with yourself than what you were surrounded with as a kid, you know. So I guess music was just that outlet for me. I was just able to find a voice that I didn't have as a child, you know. From one day to the next, you wake up and he's gone, and then it's you wake up the next morning and it's okay, now you have to do the vacuuming and the dishes and take the dog out and laundry at 6 years old because your mom is too sick, you know. So it's it was just a lot to take on at a young age. You know, I didn't really get to have that golden childhood. So I put all my talent, all my focus, all of everything into, you know, what I wanted to do, what made me happy in life. Not just that I wanted to fit in, it's just I found that writing down my thoughts on paper and then sharing them with others was really my best form of expression. So I just pushed that out, and then you know how it is, high school with you have friends that are boys and they always, you know, they want to push you to do better things and you can rap. So it's also a mixture of those things too, right? It's a lot of influence from people.
Yeah. So were the thoughts lyrics?
Did they turn into lyrics, and then that's how it started?
I'm gonna say it went back to the days of writing songs. I used to write just poems and stuff for girls. You know, I had a little crush on a girl in grade 7, so I'd write a little poem for her, you know, to try and catch her attention. And it typically worked, you know. So,
did you keep any?
I just so I just kept kind of going with that, and then it came to the time when I first got my heart broken. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then you know, those love poems turned into, you know, pain and putting down my sadness on paper. And as much as I love these days making music that's more upbeat too, because I like being in a good mood, where I excel is when I start sharing my feelings on paper.
Yeah.
So. So when you're homeless and you have nothing else, sometimes you don't have food, and sometimes it's going to sound weird, but sometimes drugs are easier to find than food, you know? And you kind of have to do what you have to do to survive. It's not something that I'd ever want to endorse or say is a positive thing, because I've spent nights where I was just absolutely scared for my own life and my own safety. You know, you sleep and you pass out on a friend's couch, and then you wake up and there's 30 people in the house. You know what I mean? It was intense. So having to switch from a life of, you know, partying all the time and really not who I am today into who I am today, you know, it was a big transition. You know, I went to rehab and it didn't work. All the way out in Carlton Place too, like in the middle of nowhere. It's not even in my city. It's like totally outside.
Yeah.
You know, I tried many different methods and things didn't work until the day that, you know, hey, you're having a son.
Right.
It's like, whoa. Okay, now I gotta man up now, because I told myself and I told everybody since I was a kid that I'm going to be a better father than my dad.
Yeah.
I've got to man up. So that's when it hit me. And I'm just like, I have a baby on the way. I have to man up, and I got to be the father that they want me to be. You know, that I want to be.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me as well, because a life-changing experience that happened with myself. Like, my mum had cancer, and I had to literally be a mum to my 8-year-old brother, so that completely changed me 360, you know, because I went through depression. I was really down, and I was at my lowest place for 2 years. And it's exactly the same for you as well, because it took you having your son to deciding that you wanted more and you wanted to pursue this career that you absolutely love, and it just comes naturally to you, right?
Yeah. Thank you, and I'm sorry for that, by the way, as well.
No, it's okay. I'm so glad that she's well. She's fine. She's at home chilling.
That's good.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, in the 6 years, what obstacles how have you overcome that? We're still on this journey to healing, right? We're still all on journeys to healing, but 6 years is a long time for you to still be on your path. You know, a lot of people would probably have given up 6 months in, a year in. No, nothing like. Life will happen. There will be things that will happen. So, just for the list, like people watching out there, like with obstacles that you have gone through, how did you overcome them? How did you deal with them? How did you keep it moving?
I'm gonna I want to say music, but without people listening, it doesn't mean anything. If you know what I mean. You can make the most amazing music, but I get to wake up sometimes I wake up like this morning. I woke up with a couple messages from some, we'll call them just ignorant people, I guess. But it's their opinion, so they can have their opinion, and I gotta value that, right? As an artist, like somebody can come at me in a negative way, and I still have to be positive with it. You know, have yourself a great day. That's your opinion. I can't hate on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the days when you wake up and somebody sends you back your song, and they're like, "Man, I spent 3 hours crying last night, and I see all the stuff you go through, and if you can do it, then I can do it."
Oh.
You know, and it's like I save screenshots like that. Like I just have a lot. You know, I keep every fan message that I get.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'd like to do a music video where I have just a bunch of fan messages the entire video. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's stuff like that. It's little actions like that. People don't understand it. Like I'll walk through my city and I'll have like 2 girls like just run up to me like, "Oh my God, hey, how are you? Like, it's nice to meet you." And it's things like that. People, I think we get so lost in the industry with this whole money over fame thing. Everybody's so hungry for money, and people don't realize that like if you use fame properly, you can really change people's lives. You physically can transform entire lives with the push of a button. And I mean, it's, you know, what I do, I never thought could impact people like that. And when I put out the song about losing my brother and my kids, the reaction that I got from it just reassured me that I'm doing this for the right reason, because I have the right kind of listeners out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my kids need to grow up better than I did.
Amazing.
That's always been That's probably the reason that I'm still here. To be honest with you, before music was around, before music was my it thing, it was just I went through, like, I openly talk about it on my music now. I went through a lot of suicidal tendencies and just attempts back then. Just I've lost people since I was a child, so it's been a journey turning the negatives into positives.
Yeah.
But I haven't even had thoughts like that in half a year to a year now, and I'm still dealing with something that's extremely fresh in my eyes. So I think, my why is going to come back to my kids.
Yeah.
It is, because I'm building a family, and I want them to be able to, not just materialistic things, but like I had materialistic things as a kid. My dad was around for just a short time of my childhood and stuff, but that's all he did was just buy my love. He just tried to buy me all the time.
Yeah.
And my mom, I'm not gonna say anything negative about my mom, because my mom she didn't choose to be sick. My mom never chose that, And as much as our relationship is strained now, I know that my mom tried, and she really, really, really did. Sorry. She did try a lot for her life, and for us, but she wasn't able to.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to, That's it. I just want to be able to provide others with what I didn't have as a kid.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I pray that God will continue to use you to just be a blessing to millions of people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's a lot to get out.
It's well.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. What would you say? Okay, let me ask this question. What did success look like to you when you started 6 years ago? Did you know that you would be where you are today, or what did it look like back then?
No, not at all. I'm going to say the answer to that is definitely no. My God, when I first, and this is going to go like mostly to the viewers that probably are going to be watching from my own hometown would be able to know this, but when I first started, it was like me in my mom's basement posting little videos of me doing little raps on Facebook. You know what I mean? Facebook video back when I was getting like 300 likes on Facebook, and Facebook was the thing.
Yeah.
So that. I super humble beginning, super small beginning. I got taken on by a man by the name of Jay Young, who met me when I was like 16 years old. I was just walking through the park near my mom's house, and he just heard me rapping with my friend, and he's like, hey, you come over here. I was kind of scared. I was 16 years old, and he was like a 24-year-old, big African man, really tall, really buff, like big guys.
Yeah, like macho man,
Yeah, a little scared, But he's like, man, just redo what you just did. I'm just going to take a video. So he did that, and he sent it off to a man named Warren Backman. Works for Panamera and a couple other things. He owns a couple businesses. And I ended up getting the pleasure of meeting him. This Mr. J brought me down to Toronto to an industry party where I met, people from Warner, people from Sony, people from all around. It was really cool. It was his birthday bash, which was nice to see that he also had that many supporters.
Yeah.
And like I think he's the one kind of got me not into believing into myself, but into like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like this is like, whoa, he I guess just being at a young age and being introduced to like just seeing money like that and like that lifestyle, I guess it was just really alluring, So it kept me focused on other things, and mainly, music was obviously just the way to cope throughout my whole life. So.
Yeah. No, that's
awesome. No, that is really something, because he's like your mentor, right? Because
aspire to be.
Yeah, we haven't spoken in some time now, but when he was around, he definitely guided me in every way possible.
Yeah. I think
everyone, like I absolutely adore Will Smith.
Okay,
and Oprah. I absolutely love them. So I look up to the things that they do. I'm like, I want to learn from them, because they're kind of where I want to be, sort of thing. So,
exactly.
And I not envy them, but like I just love how they're making an impact in the world.
Yeah.
So they're more like my mentors. Not that I directly speak to them, of course.
I understand.
Listening to them, and learning good habits as well. It's all part of it. So
See, I think I'm in it. Yeah, like that reminds me of just like growing up. Really, I mean, that's all I did was just. I mean, I didn't have other things to do or sports to play or I watched a lot of MTV and BET and just T.I. I remember T.I. I remember watching T.I. a lot as a kid. Just watching the way he moved in the industry, and it was I don't know why T.I. just came to my mind, but he was definitely one of the big influences that I remember as a kid. You could have whatever you like. I just remember that. Like, I wanted that. And
you can have whatever you like.
So that I could do it. So yeah, it's a good song.
You're gonna sign me up, Jay.
You know what I mean? The idea of going to you ever seen the video? The idea of going to like a fast food restaurant and like you see a girl and she's really attractive and you're like, oh, you can give her more. You can give her more. So you just take her out on a date and show her a good time. Like I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's smart. He's smart. So
Yeah, T.I. is good.
Memories.
No, T.I. is good.
T.I. is good. Oh, okay. Last question. So, because I know you're very super busy.
Studio.
I only wanted to keep like half an hour.
Yeah.
Last thing, what would you say to people out there who are really trying to, reach out for their goals and do what it is that they absolutely love, and what can you say to them to keep going? Like, what can they do? What can you say?
So, okay, I'm gonna say,
especially aspiring artists like yourself.
Yeah. So. I want to do one that's not just for artists. So I think for anybody that's just trying to reach their goals in general, I think learning how to do something yourself and taking, a couple months to learn how to do something yourself is much, much, much more valuable and worth it than paying somebody to do it. I think that's very factual. There's obviously things that don't fall into that category, but it'll save you a lot of not only time and money, but it builds your catalog as what you can do as a person, right? So if you're trying to reach your goals, just don't give up and focus on smaller goals. Make 10 small goals and beat them all instead of one big goal, because as you knock out all of those 10 goals, you're going to be positive the entire way. Okay, boom, I just did it. Boom, now it's time for the big one, instead of just, I'm going to aim big one and then never reach it, so I think that's a big tip on there. And for aspiring artists, watch out. The online world is horrible. It's a place filled with scammers and filled with people that are trying to take away from the positive energy that you're trying to give out. You know what I mean? So like I said, do things for yourself. Learn how to do them for yourself, and it will become an asset instead of becoming a crutch, right?
No, I love that, because a lot of people are trying to find people to do it for them, but the thing is, you're investing a lot into the things that, when you don't really have the money coming in, and you're still trying to build your dreams, you're spending money where you shouldn't. Maybe invest more into yourself, so you could be learning how to do that thing that you have to pay someone else for, until you get to that place where you can have a team.
Exactly.
And get like, you're literally sorting everything out yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, like 100%. So I do everything. Everything. If I can do my artwork, mix, master, engineer my song, and do everything myself, that means I own 100% of my content, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I mean, that's obviously the goal for any musician is to try to do as much as you can yourself. It's also, it just looks better on you. I mean, if you're able to do this many things yourself, a lot of people think they can use that as a shortcut, right? Like, oh, if the bigger people are paying others to do it, maybe if I pay people to do it, then I'll become big too. And there's a lot of just perception issues in the industry, and I think people just need to stay focused on their goals and make authentic music that is real to them. Because if you go on stage and you start saying things that you don't mean, people see right through that. Anybody who loves music can see right through that. You know?
Yeah.
Most definitely. No, but you are amazing. I went onto YouTube and I listened to your song, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's such a good rapper. But like, I absolutely adore you. I love your energy and everything about you. You're just keep shining your light on this world.
Thank you. I appreciate that, honestly. That's amazing.
Thank you, honestly, for like allowing me into your world and everything.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. I appreciate talks like this. It was a great time. I do want to say one last thing too.
Go for it.
Don't. I just, for one more tip for others, is just don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's how you're gonna learn some more.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I never did that, like I have a song with somebody like in Spanish. I have a song coming up this summer where I not only go in English, but I also rap in Italian, and I'm doing a song with a Kenyan group that I manage from Nairobi.
Wow.
And they go in English and Swahili. So it's just, if I would have never gotten out of my comfort zone, I'd probably still be doing just English raps by myself. You know, you need to try new things. If you've never done R&B, try it. You know, if you haven't tried singing, try it. Who knows? I never knew I could sing, and now I have a 5 vocal range. You know, I can falsetto. You know, it's very weird, but it'll be it.
That's amazing.
Just step out of the comfort zone. It'll do great things.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Because through that, you discover that what you love, and you might actually find new things that you didn't know that you could do.
Yeah.
And then there's a limit from there, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, like, I fell in love with singing, and I mean that's something that I never thought that I would love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. It's you never know what you'll find, and I think a lot of people are actually stuck for that reason, because they don't they haven't tried enough different things, so they haven't found what they love yet, you know. And I think that's what people got to go out and do a little bit more of.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I always say, it's not so much about passion; it's about your interests, right? What are you interested in? What gives you meaning? Music gives you meaning. That's why you chase it. That's why you go for it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You have to do different things to figure out what it is that you like.
So
and it comes back to that topic of you know, paying for somebody else to do it. No one's gonna go harder for you.
Like you're gonna go harder, for your vision. Only I don't know your vision, Jay. Only you know your vision, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like the end plan, you know.
Yeah, you keep freezing. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure either. Yeah. Everything's been good on my end. So.
But no, thank you so much.
Okay. I appreciate it. Honestly, it was amazing speaking to you and getting down to the root of what's been who I am. You know what I mean?
It was an awesome conversation. It was awesome talk.
All right. Thank you very much.
Are you going to go back to the studio? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to jump back on the microphone and finish these 2 songs that I got. I guess pay attention to the album coming, you know, in June. So that'll be
in June. Will be released in June, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to come out early in June. So
awesome. Wait.
Ready for the summer. Everywhere, on all major platforms, anywhere music can be found in all countries.
So where can we find you? Like, obviously, like, besides, like, Spotify, YouTube?
So, Spotify and Apple Music would be the biggest ones for North America.
Okay.
If you want to listen to me worldwide, I'm on Pandora, I'm on Deezer, Google Play, Amazon as well. I think my music's on eBay. I'm on Microsoft, on your Xbox, on your PlayStation Store.
Okay.
I'm in a lot of places. So just about anywhere music is available, you can find me in your country.
I love it.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. Thank you.
Anytime. You're welcome. I appreciate it. You have yourself a great day, okay?
And you. Take care.
All right.
Bye.